All right, today we're going to do a very quick and simple Dreamweaver website, which will allow you to showcase your portfolio pieces. Before you create your site, you've got to have a folder, and I've got this one called Mike Site is my folder. And inside that folder, I've got an images folder, and I've already optimized my images. Remember, we talked about this in the beginning of the semester. You don't want them to be too big. As far as memory goes, like, less than a couple hundred kilobytes is good. These are all somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 kilobytes. If you have flat graphics like this, it can be a GIF file. If it needs transparency, it needs to be a PNG file. But JPEGs are good for most things if you're okay with a white background or whatever it is. So first, of course, prepare all your images. Make sure that they're all optimized. Save them in an images folder. Put this images folder inside your site folder. That's what you do first. Okay. Second, you've got to create a new site and define that site. So at the top of your screen, I've done nothing else but open Dreamweaver. I'm going to go to the word site, and I'm going to go to new site, and then I get this folder, or this panel, and I'm going to give it the site name. I could call it anything I want, really, because this doesn't get published, but I'm going to go ahead and just repeat the name of my folder. So I'm going to put Mike Site, and then here I've got to tell it where this folder is. The local site folder says, okay, this site that you're doing, where's the folder? So I got to tell it. So I click on this little folder icon, and I find it for him, for the program. There it is. That's my folder. I don't go inside of it. I just go with this outer one that says Mike Site, and I do choose. And that's all I have to do. It will automatically pull images from the image folder inside of there. So I'll click Save, and that's called defining your site. Okay, so that's step 2. Now, in future days, after I complete my site and I want to make changes, I don't do a new site again. I'll go to Manage Sites, and it'll have a list. Like there's an older one that I did that I got rid of. I can delete that one. But then I've got this new one called Mike Site, and that's good. Also here, if I decided to make a new site, I could. But if I want to just make changes, or if I have 10 sites and I want to work on one of them, I go to Site, Manage Sites, and I pick the one I want to work on, highlight it and click Done, and then I'll be in that particular site folder. So it's very important because you'll have root folders and you'll have image folders in every site, and you got to make sure you're working on the right one. So I've defined Mike Site. So now I'm going to create a new page. I don't have any pages at all. So I'm going to start with a new document. There's any number of things you could do at this point, but just today, to be simple, I'm going to go with the starter template. Okay, and I'm going to choose one that's going to work best for me today. I'm going to choose the simple grid, that middle one there, and I'm going to click Create. And there is my first page. This is going to be my my index page. So I'm going to do File, Save As. I'm going to call it index.html, and this goes into Mike Site right there. Okay, I don't put it inside of images. It's just inside of Mike Site. I click Save, and there we go. So this is my home page, and it has to be called index. Now here's how I can change things. I can look at this and I can go, well, don't want this background to be blue. And notice currently I'm in the split view. I can see the images up here, and I can also see the code down there. And that's probably the most useful. We played with code a little bit, and you're a little bit familiar with it, so that should work. But I can change this text, and I can double click and highlight it, and then just type in here what I want to. Mike Jones is a graphic designer and educator living in Abilene, Texas. Okay. I can go down this next paragraph, and I can, if I want to, I can just delete it and add to this one, or I could have typed something else. All right. His specialties include logo and poster design, publication design, and illustration. You can put whatever you want to there. Okay. All right, then here's the John Doe image, and I don't actually have my little my image in here. The way I change this is I select it, and I see the little hamburger menu there. You get this little blue tag. I click on that, and I choose an image, and so I have to browse for the file. This time I'm gonna browse for one that is not in my images folder to see what happens. I don't think I have my profile picture conveniently located. Maybe I do. Let's see here. But the point here is that I'm navigating outside of my site folder to find something, and I'm going to show you what happens. No, that's not the one I want. I want this. Okay. I want this. I want okay, MJ identity. There we go. Headshots. Okay, some of these are a little old. Okay, I'll pick that one. I'll choose it, and then here it gives me a warning. Hey, this is outside the root folder. Would you like to copy the file there now? In other words, it's offering to copy the picture into my images folder. I'm going to say yes. So there we go. Oh, well, it's offering to copy it in the root folder. Then I have to tell it where to put it. So I say, yeah, inside of images. So I'll click save, and there it is. And so it's in there. Okay. Then, of course, I can change my name up here, which is not John Doe. It's something much more interesting than John Doe. Okay. There we go. All right. All right. So then I say, well, I don't want this background to be blue. This division. Notice whenever you click on something, it'll tell you what it is. There's a little tag there. Let's see the division. Okay, it's a section. You got to watch these little borders. Like it'll tell you there's the headline. Here's the this division only contains the thumbnail. Notice that little blue line. It tells you that's as far as it goes. Here's a paragraph. That's what the little P stands for. But if I want this whole blue area, I got to click out here and make sure that the blue line goes around there. And it's this section. All right, so I know I've got the section, and I want to change what it looks like. So I'm going to go up here to the top right to CSS Designer. Remember, cascading style sheets. That's where we style things. So I click on that, and I look in all these properties down here, and it highlights what I've got selected, and it shows me the background color, which is blue. And I can say, well, I don't want that. I want something different. So I can change it to, just to make it different. I'll change it to kind of a green. And there we go. And it changes. All right. So I've actually changed the CSS style sheet that came with this template. That's actually a good thing to do, because then if I make a new page based on this template, it'll have the same characteristics. Okay, so there we go. I could go up here, and up here I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get rid of this this headline. I just don't feel like I need, well, maybe I do, but I'm going to delete it. I've selected. I'm going to hit delete. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Let me go back. I didn't mean to select. all of that. Let's see. Oh, the header. I do want to use this header. So I want to put some navigation in here because, if I'm going to have other pages, I need to be able to click to them. And this is much easier than what we've done before. I'm going to go to, I've got the header selected, so I'm going to go to Insert, Bootstrap Components. We've never done that before. This is just a way to drag and drop interactive elements, and it's much easier than trying to code it or build it. So we're just going to use these. Insert Bootstrap Component, Nav Bar, and I'm going to ask for a basic nav bar. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to nest it inside the header. So I'm going to click Nest, and there it is. I've got this little navigation bar, and I don't know if I want the word nav bar, so I'm going to delete that. And I'm click on the word Home, and then down here in this Properties window, it says where the link is. So I'm not going to put anything because I am home. We're eventually going to make a page 2, and I'm going to go to link, which I could call this anything. It says link, but I can change the text. I can say, about me, client list, portfolio. I could say whatever I want to say there. Okay, I could just, I'll put about me, or I'll put contact because I've already told a little bit about me. So there's contact. Okay. So anyway, that is a link. And I could add a link. Like if I had several links, I could add another one. Let's see. Nav link. Okay. And I could change the nature of this one. Like it says drop down toggle. I could just get rid of that and make this just another nav link, and I could just say here clients, just some other link there. And this one called disabled, I could make it something. Portfolio, even though I'm going to put the portfolio on the front page. Okay, so there we go. I don't want it disabled. There we go. So I got three links right there, and then I've got home. But those aren't going to go anywhere yet. Those are pages that don't exist. So I got my information, and then here I've got what I want to do here is put my carousels, little slideshows of my work, and you can organize it how you want. You could make this page all information and then have them go to one of these other pages to look at your information, but I'm just going to show you how it's done. I'm going to do it right here. And let's just say that I want just 3 of these, that I don't want 4 of them, and I don't want all these rows. I can delete those things. I can simplify this a whole lot. By clicking on this division, I can just hit delete actually. And then I can do the same with all the ones that I don't want. Here's a second larger division called gallery, and I can delete that whole gallery. So now I've got, this is a gallery too. There it is. There's a gallery with these 3 in there. Now a lot of people say, well, how do I center this? Well, I wish it were a little easier than it is. It's not hard, but it's just not as logical as you'd think. You want to make sure you get the gallery division, because these are individual images and divisions called thumbnails, and the thumbnails hold an image inside. But if you want the whole thing, I'm going to get the division of the gallery. And so I want it centered, and what I've got to do actually is play with the margins. I've got to increase the left margin until it's centered, and then I could change. Like here I'm going to put logos, and here I'm going to put posters, and here I'm going to put, I think,